Justice Marini has no friends.
What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about revolt, I'm going to talk about community, and I'm going to talk about essentially why I think the future may be a little bit brighter than maybe what everyone else is telling you. So, as you know, I kind of go around in a circle, but I promise to bring it all back. All right? So here we are. Today, I'm talking with my wife, and my wife tends to do this thing where when she's listened to like a podcast or a YouTube or Rumble video that's really interesting, she'll cut me off when I'm talking, and I realize like, oh, her cup is full, and she's ready to talk about her stuff because she has to listen to me all the time. So I better listen up. And she began sharing about something with Bitcoin that's going on and how corporations are creating new bonds, carbon bonds, and all this stuff. And she starts talking about it. And I finally was like, Stephanie, I'm tired of us getting played. And I didn't know that this was going to happen, but it just opened up this idea that's been sitting in my mind for a long, long time. All right? I know that a lot of the male gurus will talk about the matrix or whatever, but it's almost like the only word I have for it. Meaning, I don't think we were designed to be on our phones and in front of screens and alone and siloed so much. But not only that, I don't think that we were supposed to be taking in this much bad news. Let me explain. Oftentimes, my wife, she has this strength input. If you've ever taken Strengths Finder, it's essentially people love taking in this information and then they can actually regurgitate it pretty well, unlike myself. I hit this cap where I can only take in so much information, and then regurgitating it takes a lot of energy and a lot of time, like what I'm doing right now. Part of what she was taking in are from people that she actually agrees with, probably politically to some sense, that think along the same lines, with some of them morally even. And so when they share information, it's not that she takes it as truth, but she finds it very informative and very interesting. But there's always a negative piece of it. It's negative. But it isn't like the world's ending, it's just the world is getting worse. We are being captured, industries are getting captured, which is probably true. We are being lied to, obviously true. All of these things. And I finally was like, yeah, but how much of that can we control? How much of this can we actually influence? Let's say they're doing all this stuff. If we wanted to change it, how would that work? And I brought up the fact that our parents' knew even less than we do. Way less. But I felt like they had more influence than we do now. Like if I really wanted to, I might be able to help cancel somebody, which I don't want to do. Nothing about that sounds cool or interesting, but the people that actually make big decisions in our world, in our country, I have no influence over them other than voting. But I can influence the community that I'm around. But I'm not with the community because I'm on my phone. I'm not with the people because I'm trying to entertain myself, but the entertainment is just negative news that makes me feel like the world is getting worse, not better, that the future isn't bright. And the people, like our parents, they were being lied to, but I feel like they knew what they could control and they tried to control what they could control. And when I was talking with my wife, she was like, yeah, I get it. And one of the things that we came to was that oftentimes, whenever we listen to what we listen to or watch what we watch, do you notice that it makes you feel powerless and alone? Unless it's just entertainment. Which, again, listening to the experts, who tend to always be negative. Like, all the experts rarely have good news for us. The more we listen to them, they'll even say, like, do you guys remember, like, when we were kids, before iPhones and internet was still dial-up, the good old days? We would watch movies, but we would watch them on TV with all of our family. So even the media that we were taking in was social. But the social media that we take in now is completely isolated and it's just you and your phone. And I know we all know this. Social media is actually not very social. But do we understand that it's the least social of the media? If you go to the theater, you're with people, you're laughing with people. If you turn on the movie, you're watching it hopefully with people. If you're listening to the radio, you're at least listening to usually a group of people talking on the radio, arguing about something, and you're laughing along with them. On your way to work, to go be with other people where you're going to talk with them at the water cooler about the thing that you just heard. So you debate with your friends about who was better, Michael or LeBron or Kobe. Doesn't happen anymore. We've become keyboard warriors on these platforms where we argue with people we'll never ever meet. And we listen to people we'll never meet. Talk with other experts we'll never meet, who could care less about us, and who are sharing information that only makes us think the worst about the future. I promise to talk about revolt in a little bit and why I think it's about to happen. In fact, let's just go there now. I think that there's a positive revolt coming. Revolts have happened over and over, but not every revolt involves violence. Obviously, there's like the French Revolution, and there's all kinds of violent revolts in the past that created positive outcomes, I think. But there's also like financial revolts. All right? For instance, when the iPhone came out, that was a revolt. It was basically saying there needs to be a new way to communicate and a new way to take in information, and it was the iPhone. Another revolt that I think was really huge, and maybe is the example I should have used instead, was Napster. The people were saying we're tired of paying high price for these CDs that make everyone else rich. Media shouldn't be this expensive. Now, how were they saying that? Well, they didn't know that they even felt that way until Napster came around, and suddenly we had stolen music. But what did that end up doing? Well, without Apple, without the iPhone, we would have just had free music and we'd all be stealing but saying that we're not, right? It basically made every album, instead of $13.99, $17.99, that's how much CDs used to be. Criss Cross cost me like $15. All right? Now, I can get an album for $5 to $6, but now we don't even really listen to that. We just pay $10 a month to have all the music and just stream whatever we want. So there was a revolt against the industries at bay. Now, I think there's going to be another revolt. But the actual thing that's going to allow us to revolt, it's not there yet. I don't know what it is. But whatever this mechanism is, whatever this vehicle is, it's going to cause us to abandon this. It's going to make this obsolete. And you might be saying, Justice, how do you know? I don't know, it's just a gut, but my gut, it's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I think whatever comes next, and some people that think about the future will say, oh yeah, it's going to be implants in our brain that allow us to connect and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but that would just be a different mode of the phone. I think whatever's coming next is so going to incentivize connection, because I think the generation coming up who have literally grown up in a world of these, they're not impressed like I am with this device. They just see it as a thing. And with TikTok about to be banned and some of this other stuff, I think the media that's uploaded to this, including stuff that I'm going to upload, just, it isn't going to be life-giving. It's not going to be entertaining. It's not going to be something that I can share with others unless I like copy the link and share it with somebody else, and that's it. But we want a more meaningful connection. And the generation coming up is going, I'm not having it. Now, the way that they're connecting with one another is actually sexually right now, because they don't know that there's a better way to connect with one another. But they are starving for it. You might be asking, well, who and how? And we tend to apply what we know and try to project it into the future. And so we assume it's going to be technology-based. I don't think it is. I think we're going to be surprised by what it is. And I'm excited about it. Because as I was talking with my wife, I just thought, I'm over this. There's been 2 other times where I've just gone to AT&T and said, I just want a flip phone. Can I just put my number on a flip phone? Yeah, you can't use that number. Which is stupid because I could just easily, when I got the iPhone, I could put my, flip phone number over to the iPhone with no problem, so why can't I go back? I think it's just something they put in the way to keep people from getting addicted to this thing. Am I the only person that's like, I want real connections with real people in real places out? And now I'm usually a little bit ahead of people in voicing the issue and also taking action on the issue. I'm a forerunner, as you might say. But usually when I do something, people will go, I didn't know I could do it. And then someone with high levels of influence tends to do something and it creates the change. Now, even my assumptions are projecting my own desires, so I don't know exactly what it's going to be. But I can tell you, I think we're sick and tired. I'm noticing that my time on social media is going down. And it's like, when I'm on it, I hate that I'm on it. Unless I find something funny, I don't stay on it. Am I the only person? I don't think so. So yes, I do think a revolt is coming. But I think it comes down to our appetite for this. Usually when people change, it's that staying the way things are is becomes so inconvenient that change is inevitable. All right? I don't think we're quite there. I think it's going to be a couple years before we're just like, Instagram, Facebook, it's just ads and it's not entertaining, it's not helping, it's not improving my life, it's costing me so stuff. I just actually hate it. And then something will come up that provides an opportunity that may not even be technology. I don't know, maybe you guys agree. So there's a revolt coming. What we're being fed, even from the people we like even the people we agree with politically, religiously, morally, whatever, even their stuff is just like, ugh. Like how many biohacking YouTube videos do I have to see? And what they share with you is always negative. Actually this thing is unhealthy. And this thing that we've always thought is healthy is now unhealthy. And cancer is happening in everyone. And plastics and all. And you're just like, well, what am I supposed to eat? The air? Well, then I see a marketing guy who's talking about how much money they're making every month. And I'm going, well, gosh, I'm only making a fraction of that. Jeez. And on and on and on and on and on. And you go, oh, well, I'll just listen to this because it'll help me learn this new system or learn this new workout or whatever it is. And it's like, that's all my feed is just more and more strategies and things. And meanwhile, I'm not getting any better. Are you? Are your connections getting any healthier? When's the last time you watched a YouTube video that made you healthier? I don't know. So I'm over it. I'm feeling it, but again, I'm pretty sensitive, and so I feel things a little earlier than other people. I don't think we're made to take in all this stuff at all. So what do? I don't know. But I can tell you that if there's a feeling you have or a thought that you have that maybe something should change, you might be the person that introduces something or some way to the rest of us that allows us to go, that is so much better than this. And maybe that thing already exists, but you're just packaging it differently and providing it to us. I think the younger generation, like our kids or our kids' kids, are going to be the ones that are going to show us a better way. That's the way it usually is. Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, all the people, they're usually young because they haven't been trained to think a certain way, and so creativity comes so much easier for them. Thinking outside the box is the only way that they can think, and so they do. It's the artists of the future. And so maybe the thing is just empowering our kids to have the life that we aren't having right now. And it doesn't require spending more money. It just requires more time with them and asking them what they actually think. Maybe that's the answer. The children are the future. I don't know. I wanted to make this because I think maybe I'm sparking a match that someone will take. And I know it includes myself, but I'm looking all around and I go, this is not it anymore. Even church. The last time I went to church, probably months ago, we now do church as a family at home. The last time I went to an actual church building, I felt the most alone that I've ever felt. And I tried another church, I felt alone. And the last one we went to, I was like, I feel so alone. And this is me really trying and attempting to connect with people. And it was almost as if the people didn't even know how. It was like awkward. And that could be awkward too. But I just thought, this ain't it anymore. I'm not saying church isn't good or that you should go to church. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I love Jesus, all that stuff. But the model is not it. This structure served a certain generation, a certain group of people. But now I'm noticing it doesn't serve. Like, it's not bringing me into a closer relationship with God, and it's not empowering me to bring other people into a closer relationship with God. And oftentimes I've noticed that some of the times I go into a church, I feel like I'm serving the pastor, not serving the people. Like I'm making the pastor happy by sitting there and listening to him for 45 minutes. I digress. Look, the future is bright. And I think we're going to be a part of, in some way, leveraging the youth to experience real connection, real life improvement, real prosperity, like not just becoming wealthy. But I think prosperity is like the wealth of the relationships you have with the people around you. I think that we're going to do that. And so, while the current is not bright, or as bright as it could be, I think the future will be insane. All right. Yeah!